healthier food, more free time, free delivery, and better value. Go to GuaranteedFoods.com.
All right, a Friday edition of The Zone right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Josh Briscoe, Dylan Michaels. We had up until 2 o'clock. The next 4 hours, we've got you. A lot of stuff to get into today and a jam-packed show. Here's how it lines up, or at least tentatively how it lines up. We will hear from Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports coming up later on this hour. Todd Lebo getting you set for the weekend, a massive weekend around the area with college and the NFL. Lee Sterling getting you set for that coming up later on this hour. We will hear from the Kansas City Chiefs in Frankfurt, Germany in the 11 o'clock hour. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will be at the podium. And then the expectation, I guess, or the plan is that there will be 5 players at a table all addressing the media at once. Well, not all answering the question at once. That would be crazy. But they will just have their media availability at the table at the same time, not like one-on-one. So it'll be the assembled media saying, this question's for Travis, Taylor Swift. This question's for Travis, Taylor Swift. This question's for Travis, Taylor Swift. The moderator will go, any questions for any of the other players up here? This question is for all of the guys up there. What do you think about Frankfurt and Germany? We will, Harrison Butker, we'll start with you. Well, it's really cool to be here. Chris, your turn. Well, what Harrison said, he pretty much said it. Justin Reed, you want to weigh in on that one? Yeah, these guys pretty much said it all right there of what this is. This is a very cool opportunity for us, yeah. This question's for Travis, Taylor Swift.
This question's for Harrison Butker. What's it like being on a team with a guy with Taylor Swift? Well...
By the way, the Chiefs TikTok, have you seen this? The Chiefs put out the TikTok of the Chiefs taking off and leaving,
No.
getting on their flight to Germany. They also did a TikTok of the Chiefs arriving in Germany. But the TikTok of the Chiefs leaving yesterday that they put out showed like 11 or 12 different players. They did not show Travis Kelce.
Oh.
And the Swifties are wondering if he's not going to be able to make the flight.
Wow.
The Swifties are wondering, is he flying on his own?
Is he not there?
Is he not there? Hold on. Do I not need to watch the game?
Wow.
Did I miss something? Is Travis not going? I also liked one of the comments that said, who's the ginger with the beard? Yum. That's Harrison Butker, by the way. I had to watch it just to know who they are talking about.
I knew who they were talking about.
And then Harrison Butker walks out with a stocking cap on and, dressed nice and walking there, and he's got the beard there. And like, who's the ginger with the beard?
Real Yukon Cornelius vibe.
That's right. That would be a butt kicker. That's what that is.
2 shows this week for
nice.
Yukon Cornelius.
That's 2 shows in the last 3 days for Yukon Cornelius. That's great. So the Chiefs arrived in Germany. They'll have their press conference. They're at practice right now. They'll have their media availability come up in the 11 o'clock hour. We will hear from them. What they are saying, you'll hear live right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB as it happens, as we do whenever the Chiefs are talking. If that's a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, when the Chiefs are talking and the locker room sound, you hear it right here in real time as it's happening, and today is no different. That means in the 11 o'clock hour, since we're listening to the Chiefs, we're going to move Matt Derrick to the noon hour. We will talk with Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest, and get his thoughts on this game coming up this weekend. In the noon hour, we'll talk with Kendall Gammon in the 1 o'clock hour, we think, late in the 11 o'clock hour or the 1 o'clock hour, depending on the press conferences. His availability is good either way because he's getting ready to get on a flight later this afternoon to head to Germany. Late afternoon, he'll be heading to Germany, so he's going to be over there with the Chiefs ambassador, fanning it up as well. So he's got his schedule is available depending. So that one might float. We'll talk with Mick Schaefer at some point, KSHB 41 sports director. We'll get the cuts before the show is over. We will talk try to talk some college football today as well because a massive weekend with KU heading to Iowa State, Mizzou heading to Georgia, K-State heading to Texas. Big games this weekend, and none of them overlap, which is awesome. K-State, Texas at 11, Mizzou, Georgia 2:30, and then KU, Iowa State at 6. And then right into Chiefs and Dolphins at 8:30 on Sunday, into Seahawks, Ravens at noon, into Cowboys, Eagles at 3:30, into Bills, Bengals, Sunday Night Football.
into Sporting St. Louis round
That's right.
2.
That's right. Exactly. Yes.
There is so much bleeping sports happening this weekend.
I did not want to leave out the Sporting because I do want to address that as well. As
Thank goodness the Diamondbacks didn't make baseball keep going.
Yeah, that's right.
Wouldn't have had any
Don't
time
have to
for
worry about that tonight.
Thanks, Diamondbacks.
Then luckily, now Travis Kelce won't have to fly to Dallas tonight to be at that game.
Would have been.
That would have been a story, everybody.
Tough, yeah.
All right, 913-912-4810 is the text line. Let's get into the show. As the build-up for this game in Germany, thoughts as the week has progressed? You know, Monday, obviously a lot of frustration from how the Chiefs played, what they looked like in Denver, and what it would look like then moving to this game against the Dolphins in Germany. Oh, they're going to be jet-lagged. There's a different schedule for these teams that are going on. The Dolphins are getting there early.
I like this
Chiefs
character.
are going late. And the turnovers, the issues offensively, what the Dolphins are able to do, etc. I was more pessimistic earlier in the week, and as the week has gone on, I've become, more confident in the build-up and the Chiefs in this game, because I think the Chiefs have shown throughout the years that they don't typically lay stinkers in back-to-back games. Earlier this week, I didn't end up bringing it up, but I noted it. So just looking at Patrick Mahomes' record coming off of losses, when Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs lose a game.
Which is rare enough on its own.
It is. Man, I don't know that I'm going to be able to find it. It's good. Let me just say that.
It's very good.
It's very good. I might have put it on a different piece of paper. Either way, I
got him at 6-2 here from a StatMuse thing. Just for Patrick Mahomes' record after a loss. StatMuse is kind of a toss-up. I was hoping to see if that sounded right or not.
Because 8 losses. No, he's
more
lost
than that.
19 games.
No, I know. I don't know what this goes back through last year, I think. But that's the first thing I got here.
No,
I don't have the career stat yet.
I think I made the notes on one of my formats earlier this week instead of putting it on my big old piece of paper here. Either way, it's pretty good. So he's like 16-3. No, he's 13-3. 13-3 coming off a loss as Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Of the so 16 losses. Well, it's 19 with this last one, but there's a couple of reasons why it was only like 16 games. Either way, he's lost 3 games, okay? Back-to-back 3 times. All right, so there you go. That's what you need to know. So in the 5 years plus 8 games, 7, the Chiefs have lost back-to-back games 3 times with Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't happen very often. And they don't typically lay stinkers back-to-back games very often. And usually when they are pissed about a performance, they come out and they play pretty well. They play pretty focused. That is the mark of an Andy Reid coach team, and it has been a mark of this group of players that have won Super Bowls and have been to Super Bowls and AFC championships a lot, 5 of them in a row. This team does not typically have a back-to-back week where they just don't bring it. That's a real positive sign for what comes up this weekend against the Dolphins. They may lose the game. I don't expect them to lose the game because they handed it to the Dolphins more often than not, like they handed it to the Broncos and helped the Broncos along the way. The Miami Dolphins don't need help to beat the Chiefs. If you give them help, you're going to lose. They can beat the Chiefs by just simply playing their game, their best game. They play their best game. Chiefs play an A- game. Yeah, it's that close. The Dolphins can win. Dolphins play a B game and the Chiefs play a B game. I think the Chiefs are better. They play the same level. You give them the ball a couple of times, 5 times, like it was in Denver. You see a team that is an inferior team talent-wise and all of that stuff win by 15. But there just aren't many games where you're like, wow, this team is struggling in back-to-back games. Even in 2021.
This was the last time that it happened. It has happened 3 times. The last time that it happened was Baltimore to L.A.
Baltimore to
Week
LA.
2 and 3.
And then it happened after the Colts loss when they lost to Houston at home in 2019. And that was after that Colts stinker. And then they lost 31-24.
And then at the end of 2018, Chargers Seahawks in week 15 and 16.
Was that the Chargers 2-point conversion game?
29-28, I think so. Yeah,
29-28 when they got the win there.
I have almost no memory at all of that Seahawks game. It was in Seattle. I remember them playing in Seattle.
You don't remember Mahomes running to his left And then one of the first times we saw him flip his hips back to the right and throw a sidearm to Sharkhandrick West.
I remember that play.
Like
I forgot it was against Seattle.
15 yards down the field, cutting across the field when he
I don't remember how they lost this game.
I don't remember how they lost it either. I do know there was an onside kick at some point in that game, but I don't remember how they lost it. But I remember that throw. One of my buddies, not a Chiefs fan, one of my buddies texted me and said, after that throw to Sharkhandrick West, because that was a Sunday night game and it was nationally televised, and they went over that throw like 4 or 5 times from different angles. And he texted me, he goes, Patrick Mahomes, I think, is the best thrower of the football I've ever seen. That was in, 2018?
Yep.
That was the first year we saw Patrick Mahomes, right? We saw him do some crazy things. But that play, he was like, I've never seen a player that can throw the football the way that he does. He's the best thrower of the football I've ever seen in my life. That was, 5 years ago or whatever. It doesn't happen very often. Has your confidence grown, lessened? Is it sort of the same? Coming off the loss against Denver, you marinate on it a little bit. You had the post game. Then on Monday and Tuesday, as we, continue to address whatever took place with the Broncos, and sometimes put lipstick on a pig and try to look at what the bright side of things and glass half full and et cetera. Is your confidence waned, gained, whatever?
One thing that it's done today, which is a little bit of a needle mover, is Adam Teicher tweeting out a picture of Willie Gay practicing again today.
That helps.
He was limited yesterday, and they're in shorts out there today, so we'll see what a lower back contusion feels like when you are hitting and getting hit. But that helps. Like, that's just one little kind of like news ping that does move the needle for me a little bit. I am in a very bizarre situation that I think a lot of Chiefs fans are probably finding themselves in right now, which is that my confidence in the Chiefs' defense has continued to grow. Mm-hmm. Again, Willie Gay is a big part of that. That matters in a game where you don't have Nick Bolton already. But when we've talked about and heard the guys talk about, the rhythm and the timing from Aminahu and Tranquil and Spags yesterday, rhythm and timing of the Dolphins' offense, the things that we've seen the Bills and Eagles be able to do, and the skill set that the Chiefs have across their defensive line in the secondary. Tyreek Hill's going to get you a couple of times. The Miami Dolphins running game is better than they get credit for because Tyreek Hill is just an all-consuming point of interest. But I think the Chiefs' defense is going to give Kansas City a good chance to win this game. That would have been the end of my analysis any year before this one in Patrick Mahomes' career. That could have been a period. I could have said that, and then I could have said 31-21, Chiefs by 10. And I don't feel that yet. I know we're going to talk about Mahomes and the receivers a little more, and Seth Kaiser's film review that came out and gave a little bit of a nod to the fact that Mahomes did miss some open shots on Sunday. That's still a team effort in terms of why he's not making some of those throws. But I am more worried about the Chiefs' offense, even in this game, against this Dolphins team. I'm more worried about the offense than I am the defense. That's where I continue to kind of wobble right now.
So Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not going to play. He has been ruled out.
Did
not travel with the illness. Willie Gay limited the last couple of days, but he's out there in the shorts and the Friday walkthrough, so we'll see if he's limited today. I would guess they'll probably put him at limited. It'd be awesome if there's an FP next to his name. And we know Jerick McKinnon practiced as well. The only one that's missed practice is Clyde. So hopefully those guys will all be able to return, and Willie Gay will be out there, and that certainly would be great for the team they're about to match up against. The Dolphins are facing the possibility of being without 3 of their 5 offensive linemen. Mm-hmm. Their offensive linemen they expected to come into the season. They also could be without only 2 of the 5 offensive linemen. Actually, you know what? Check that. They're facing the possibility of 4 of 5 offensive linemen not playing. Not 3. 4 of 5. Robert Hunt has already been ruled out. Mm-hmm. Their right guard who left the game last week against the Patriots early. It's the first game he's ever missed in his career since he was drafted in 2020. Will be against the Chiefs. So their right guard will miss. Isaiah Wynn, their starting left guard, was placed on the IR 2 weeks ago, so they'll have a starting left guard no matter what. That's 2 players no matter what that'll be playing that are reserve players. Connor Williams has missed the last couple of weeks, their starting center. He has been practicing. He was active for the game against the Patriots, but did not play. I'm going to guess that their starting center is going to return this week, and since he was active last week and didn't play, I think last week was the let's hold him out for 1 extra week and make sure he doesn't re-aggravate the groin, which he did earlier this year, which then made them say, we're going to hold him out a little bit longer. He wants to play, but we're holding him out. Now, do they really play the cautious role and say, if we hold him out now, we get 2 weeks of him not playing extra and him not re-aggravating it, that thing being fully healthy? I think he'll play. Teron Armstead is one that is still a question mark. His window was opened on Wednesday, and Mike McDaniel has been asked about Teron Armstead each day that he's had his press conference. And this morning when he ruled out Robert Hunt, that will not play, he also said that Teron Armstead looks good. They're just going to have to see. They have one more day of evaluation. They have to activate him by tomorrow.
Said he's very optimistic.
Very optimistic, right. The Dolphins have had 3 players come off IR this year. All 3 players have been activated after the second week of their 21-day window. Jalen Ramsey's 21-day window opened up 2 weeks ago. Last week he was activated after a full week of practice. If Teron Armstead plays this week, it would be the first player that they have activated the first week of being able to practice with the team coming off the IR. Now, he is a veteran. He's been around the team a long time, and maybe that's one, it's just a plug and place. But that would be breaking the mold. I put that as sort of 70-30 not playing. And if he doesn't play, then their left tackle that's filled in for him, Kendall Lamb, who's been fine, will play. And that means they would be losing their right guard, their left guard, and their left tackle if Teron Armstead does not play. If Connor Williams doesn't play, that means 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen will not play against the Chiefs.